What's going on, guys? Byron here at ATA Reels. So we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to try and use my phone to do this video. Now what we're going to do today is replace this. So I actually can't use my door lock at the moment. I can open it and close it with the remote, but I can't actually use the key to open it because this little tab right here broke off. So, number one, this is kind of an experiment just to see how this is going to turn out looking if I use my phone camera. And two, let's take it as a quick opportunity to teach you guys something. So let's get after it. So what we're going to do is use this here cool tool. This is what the set looks like. I got a bunch of different sizes that I can use. This is also a good one. Actually, this is going to be the one I use. So what this is this is a plastic non-marring pry bar, basically. And what it's going to do is help me to remove the clips that are running around this door frame. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you just kind of sort of how it works. It's really hard to do this one-handed, but basically what you're going to do is feel along the bottom of the door panel, and you're just going to kind of look for an opening where you can pop the tool in, and you're just going to pry out until you hear it pop. That means the clip has been released, and you're going to do that all the way around the door. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so the clips are all released. Now I got to get down here and take these two screws out, which are located under this little pop-out panel right here. Alright, so I got this panel released. I just want to show you here. Got, you can see kind of sort of where the clips lock in. There's one right there and one right there on the bottom. Once you get those two to pop out, you just got to wiggle it until the whole thing gets released. And don't forget your wiring harness. Be very careful with that. You don't want to break it. So now you can see the door panel. All the clips are out. We've removed this, which I just want to show you real quick since everybody does it wrong. You pop that panel out and then you pull this off, the threaded part here. Alright, we'll be back. So now we're looking at this. You got to make sure that you don't tear this when you take it out. And you want to reseal that because that is your moisture barrier. As you can see, mine has come off once or twice. But that's okay. We just need to make sure that we don't lose any of that sealant, because you want the moisture barrier to keep humidity outside of your car and off of the door electronics. Now, we're going in here. This is the door handle rod. This is what's broken. Right here, you can see that. Over here a little more so you can see it better. So that's what broke off, and that's why I cannot use the key to unlock my door. So, there we go. I'll turn the brightness up a little bit. So now we're going to go ahead and get this thing out, which is screwed in on this side with these 3 T30 screws. So I'm going to get that out, get that removed. Okay, so I got the bolts out here. As you can see, it's now loose. The next step, you're going to very gently release this yellow clip. You just have to pull out a little bit and it will release this rod. This is the door handle rod. This is the door cylinder. Man, I can't even see it. Let's see if we can get a better angle here. There we go. Alright, so this is the rod that goes up to the door lock cylinder. This is the one that comes from the door handle to the release mechanism. This is the rod that comes to the handle here. And this is your door lock rod. So we're going to start by releasing this, which will give us a little more room. You just have to lightly pry it out, just like that. Doesn't take a lot of force, guys. And then you're going to get it at an angle so you can remove it. And I've just got to figure out how to get it off of that. So I'll be back in a little. Okay, so now you can see it's out. I managed to take it out with the door lock actuator rod installed. The trick to getting this part out is you have to pop it loose here from this, and it'll swing down here, and then you have just enough space to turn the lock sideways and release it from this. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the new one lined up, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so as you can see, I got this one connected. So connect this rod first, gently. Connect that rod first, and then just kind of get everything lined up, like so. And now comes the tricky part. You gotta line that up. So I think what I'm gonna do is pull that off there. I'm gonna pull it back off the door lock, and I'm gonna get this one on first, and then I'm gonna mount the door lock. That's gonna be the last one I do. You gotta be super careful though, because that is really flimsy. And as I found out, it likes to break easily. So I'll be back. Alrighty, and we're back. So I've got the locking rod right there attached. It's not broken. I've got the external door lock that I have to get next. I'm sorry, the internal door lock goes up here. I've got that to do next, and I've got to get this lined up real quick. I'm just going to show you how easy this is to insert these. That's it. Just a little bit of light force is all it takes. And I wanted to bring to the attention of YouTube, because this is not actually documented anywhere on YouTube that I've been able to find. This is a camming harness lock. So as you press this down to lock it onto here, it will actually pull it tight and secure. So when you're removing this, remember that you've got to pull that thing up about a full inch before it'll release. You do not want to break that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get the interior lock rod replaced, and we'll get this thing snugged down. I've got the 3 bolts loosely installed. I did put a little Loctite on them, so those T30 bolts are just kind of holding it in place while I do what I need to do. Alright, I'll be back. Okay guys, so I had to put this in and take this out about 3 or 4 more times. The order in which you need to make the connections: you need to do this one first, then you do this one, and then you make this one. This is the last connection, and you have to make sure that this is free and unobstructed, otherwise you're going to break something. So now I'm going to show you how this one goes together. Just line it up over the threaded part, and that's it. Press it until you hear the click. Now everything works once I get these bolts over here snugged up. So I'm going to go ahead and snug those up, and I'm going to torque those to 80 inch-pounds. And then I'm going to do the electrical connection at the top, and then we're going to be able to test everything. Alrighty, so we're going to give it a little test. Moves. Cool. Now let's check it outside. By the way, we're going to go ahead and close this. This is butyl rubber if you decide to replace it. You're going to want to use a butyl rubber seal because you want to keep the moisture out. Now, pay attention because you don't want to bind this thing. That little guy can pop out. I'm going to deal with it because in about 2 weeks the car is going for paint, so they can deal with that at that time. Now we're going to check the outside. Moment of truth. Door opens, door closes, door locks, door unlocks. Alright guys, so the next time my battery's dead, I'm not screwed. Now we're going to show you how it all goes back together. When it does go back together, you got to remember, unlike a regular car, the door panel actually clicks into here to make your connection. So you got to make sure that that is a super solid connection and that you square it up before you pop all these damn locking clips in, which you can see going all the way around here. Let me show you. This is the other side of the door here, so you can see these posts. These are what you're prying out when you're removing the door. And you can kind of see here, this locks into here. So you got to lock that in first and then do the rest before you commit to pressing it into these and locking it. Alright, so okay, so just to show you guys a little bit right down in here, if you look, you can see, let's see if I can adjust the brightness up a little bit. There we go. You can see the black male end of that connection where it goes in the female part. So you got to look here while you press it in place. Just hook your foot on the bottom of the door and there it is. That's all she wrote. We'll be back. Alrighty, so we got the screws in, we got the plate seated. Now you just pop in this little cover panel just like that, and now we're going to get this put in. So first step, make this electrical connection right here, and then you just pop it back into place. So I'll be back here in a second. I need 2 hands to make the okay, so the connection's been made. You just pull out on the door handle a little bit and it'll kind of line itself right up. Check the connection before you commit. Bam, locked. Or unlocked. Bam, locked. Bam, unlocked. Why? Because I'm awesome, that's why. And that's it, boys and girls. Now we're going to test for full functionality. Handy dandy key. Okay, so now we're going to test it. Window rolls down, 2, 3, probably got to program it because it's been disconnected. Window comes up. Passenger side goes down. Passenger side goes up. Rear. And driver's rear. We have full functionality. So that means we did everything right. We're going to give it one final test. All right, close it. Lock it. Use the key. There we go. Alrighty guys, so now that we've got the old part out, let's talk about what went wrong. So this little part here that you can kind of see moving there, that's where that tab broke off. So this is what actually locks and unlocks the car from the outside. So when the car was at the wrap shop, what they did is is this the handle? Hang on, I gotta fiddle with this a minute. Okay. So this is the handle part. This is really hard to do one-handed. So that's the part that opens the door. There we go. That's the top. So this is the inner handle. This is where the door lock cylinder attaches. And this is the outer, or I'm sorry, this is the inner. This is where you can pull up on the tab and lock or unlock the car door from inside the car. And basically what they did, this is where the outer door handle connects, okay? This is where that threaded rod goes in and clicks over and locks in. So now this piece that goes here was not hanging freely, and it's really difficult to explain it even when it's assembled in front of you in the car. But this piece actually goes in front of this piece so that this will dangle with no tension whatsoever on it. When they reassembled this at the wrap shop, this piece was behind this piece, which put tension here on this part. And that's what caused that tab to break for the locking cylinder outside of the car. So when you guys do this, this is the last connection you need to make. But you need to make sure that when you do it, it just hangs freely and there's no tension on it. And it'll literally just line up and then you pop that in. So the first connection that you have to make is this one. And that rod sticks outside of the door panel. The second connection you need to make is this one. The third connection you make is this one. And if you've done it right, this will line up with the screw holes, and there will be zero tension on this rod. Then, and only then at that point, do you go ahead and torque the 3 T30 screws to 80 inch-pounds, and then you lock this tab in place, and this is the last step. After that, everything is reassembly of the door panel and everything else. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Brian W. I thank you very, very much. You got me the right part at the right time. You got it to me in a reasonable amount of time and for a pretty good price. So thank you very much for your help. I really, really, really appreciate it. So you guys are a little bit smarter now. This is Byron at ETA Wheels. Have a great day.